Hello, CUSD. Today we're going to be touching on how to create a PLC. In order to create a PLC, you do have to be a school level user where you have the ability to do so, or the assessment team can create those PLCs for you. But let's touch base on how to do it. So once you've accessed your School City account, you can see the flip grid and the launch pad here and everything that's on your screen. One of your colleagues has graciously allowed me to use her account to show you what it looks like from her end. So what I want to do when I'm creating a PLC is I go to the three lines right there at the top right of my screen. Once I click on those, you're going to see some options. We want to go to groups. So once we go to groups, you'll see, well, there's nothing there. Well, you have to move over to the far right, which is PLC staff group. And you'll see it says nobody's there. So if I want to create it, I go to the top right again and I go create group. So now I have some options here. You can select this option. That's okay. It just shows that only the person that created it can edit it and make sense of it. But let's take a look. I'm going to name the PLC, and just for our sake today, and you'll see the ones that I've created in the past, I'm just going to create a simple one. Test Group 1. We'll just say Test Group 1. And what I'm going to do is now I'm going to go to my filtered rosters. So I go down and I look at each of the grade levels that I want to create. So because I'm a school level user, I have a lot of choices here. So what I can do is grab who I want in the PLC. I can uncheck this. This no rostered grade association will give you just about everybody in the district that does not have a roster. So we could actually do that just so we're not using actual teacher names, or we could choose a grade level. So for our sake, let's just say we use grade 5. We'll pick grade 5. And what you have to do when you create the PLC is you have to select subjects that are taught in grade 5. If you just leave it blank and you press, it's not going to give you the refresh button. So you actually have to select a subject area. So in our particular case, because of our benchmarks, we're going to select Math 5 because it's 5th grade. We're going to select Reading 5. And we are also going to select Science and Social Studies 5. And then we go over here and we select our school. So if we're looking at the school that we're at, we go to Riggs, where the account I'm using is from. And then we go over to the role, which will always be selected as teacher. That's the only one there. We hit refresh, and it will list all the 5th grade teachers at Riggs Elementary School. And what I start to do when I do that is I say, okay, well, I want this as my 5th grade group. You can select each one of these, or you can select them all. It's kind of up to you. But we've created a group over there. And let's say I wanted two people in that group. I select those 2 people. You'll see that 2 staff were selected. Therefore, those are the people that are going to be in the PLC. Those are the people that will be able to create assessments there and look at the data there. Now, if I want to be part of that PLC, let's say the person that is creating this PLC wants to be part of that, just to make sure that they have the ability to look, they just toggle this switch. And you'll see that it went from 2 to 3 immediately, because the person that is creating this group is now automatically entered into that. Once that happens, you have what you need as far as the people in your group. You can hit the save button. Once you hit the save button, it'll take you to another screen. Actually, it won't take you to another screen. It'll take you to where you'll see a green bar across the top. PLC staff group saved successfully. Now I can go to my groups, and that group will be right there, Test Group 1. Now, if I ever look down the road and I say, well, I just want to create another group like them, same people in it, I just want to name it something different, you can do one of 2 things. You can rename it, or you can just copy it and create another one. We're not going to do that right now. But if I ever want to edit this group and I want to go back in and look at it, I can hit the gear icon here under My Groups. Remember, you got to be under My Groups. I hit the gear icon. It'll pull up who's in that group right now. There's only 3 people in that group. So when I want to edit it, I can always edit it by selecting additional staff members. That's who's in there right now. But if I want to add staff members, I can search for those staff members and add them in later. If that's about it, it is not that many steps. Just remember, when you're trying to create groups, you have to go into your 3 lines under groups. You get it under groups. Okay, let's go. There we go. And you make sure you hit the PLC tab. And I already have my one group there. If I wanted to do another group, I could do the same thing I just did. Create groups, go through my filters, name the group, and you save it. And you can create as many as you need. Just make sure that when you do that, as a final note, that you are including the assessment team within that group. That is an important piece of the puzzle. I appreciate you listening, and I hope this was helpful.